Hey folks, this is Jed from the Village Geek here in McPherson, Kansas. Got a match of X-Wing miniatures for you between myself and Paul. This is just a casual game. As we are kind of in the process of transitioning to a better quality camera, we've just got our old trusty webcam here, and so the quality isn't super great, but we're going to do the best we can with this, and just we'll kind of do more of commentary of philosophy and strategy and that sort of thing, as opposed to specifically what's happening in the game, because we may not always be able to see what are hits and crits and eyeballs and evades and that sort of thing. So my list is my favorite list in X-Wing that I've ever played, and what it is it's Talonbane Cobra with Crackshot, Stygium Particle Accelerator, obviously the illicit Cloaking Device to go along with that to make the Stygium Particle Accelerator actually worth it. I think it comes out to 33 points, and then Dengar in the Jumpmaster 5000 with Predator, Gonk, the crew member to regen shields, Glitterstim, the Punishing One title, and what else we have? I'm trying to think if there's something else on there. A lot of people ask me, why not go with torpedoes on Dengar, and personally I feel like on Dengar it's kind of a waste. Ideally with Dengar, if you fly Dengar correctly, you're attacking twice almost every single round, which in my opinion makes Dengar one of the best pilots in the game. Corran Horn, he can attack twice in one round, but if he attacks twice, he's not attacking the next round at all. So I really, personally, I just think Dengar is the best pilot in the game right now. And the other upgrade that I was forgetting is R5P8, which some people have called the Pain Bot, but it states that once per round after defending, you may roll one attack die, and on a regular hit result, the attacker suffers 1 damage, and on a crit result, you both suffer 1 damage. And with that, I think R5P8, honestly, I think R5P8 is one of the best upgrades in the game. Next to Crackshot, next to Palpatine Crew, I think he's right up there, because it is just direct damage that your opponent cannot mitigate. And against something like Sunterfell, that is just phenomenally good, because it forces your opponent to make the decision, am I willing to attack Dengar right now? And Dengar, and that upgrade combined with the fact that Dengar can attack back if you're inside his firing arc, it's just a really deadly combination. We kind of missed setup already here, but basically how I like to set up this build is I usually have Talonbane. You can kind of see Talonbane on the far bottom left of the battlefield. We got the camera not showing quite the entire battlefield, but Talonbane's literally on the edge of the battlefield, with maybe just a couple millimeters. But typically I use Talonbane as kind of a flanker. I mean, depending on what I'm going up against, I use Talonbane as a flanker. Or I might use Talonbane to go in first, and if I think the Talonbane's going to be able to survive an initial salvo, I'll maybe have Talonbane go in first. And I usually line up Dengar sideways so that I can just kind of slow play and build up shields on Gonk. And so that's what I was doing here, and I kind of went one bank in with Talonbane just to kind of see what he was going to do. Paul was flying his Rebel build. He's flying, you got Biggs there in the middle, I think Biggs has an R5 Astromech, an integrated Astromech. He's got Wedge Antilles, also in a T65 X-Wing on the bottom. I think he's got, I want to say, he's got like an R2 Astromech or something on Wedge, and then just an integrated Astromech as well. Swarm Tactics on Wedge, so he can bring Biggs up to a 9, so Biggs is guaranteed to shoot before he dies, which is actually pretty smart because, you know, it's not uncommon for Biggs to die on the second round of combat. So if you get at least 2 shots out of Biggs, you know, that squad or that Swarm Tactics, in my opinion, is totally worth it. And then Corran Horn has R2-D2 and I think Veteran Instincts and Fire Control System. And so, yeah, a pretty good build here. It's kind of an emerging Rebel build right now. And you know, in 2016, Rebels were just hit hard, you know, 6 months ago by the Jumpmaster 5000s, by the contracted scouts with torpedoes and you know, and then kind of recently Dengar. And so this is a pretty good Rebel build that's a decent number of people have been playing at high level competitive play. And so as you can see, I'm just kind of bringing Talonbane in, and I cloaked, and I'm just deciding whether or not I want to take the evade action with the Stygium particle accelerator. The interesting thing about the illicit cloaking device and Stygium particle accelerator is that they actually clarified in the most recent FAQ, and this is as of September 14th, 2016, that if you have to decloak during the end phase because your illicit cloaking device breaks, you get to keep your evade token that actually carries over to the next round. The concept is that during the end phase, or I guess you could say at the start of the end phase, all focus and evade tokens clear. And so the concept is that the idea is that the end phase cannot trigger more than once, and so your evade token that is on your ship gets to stay, gets to persist into the next round. And I think that's something that's, you know, people are not realizing. In my opinion, the cloaking device is really underrated. It really makes Talonbane playable, and I've been playing this build for pretty much since shortly after Wave 8 came out. And you know, I've gotten second place in a local store tournament here at the Village Geek, and then the last tournament I won, and I beat some tough builds with it. And so you guys will kind of see how this game plays out. But just as you saw a minute ago, or a few seconds ago, Biggs did not have range on Talonbane. It was also range 3 through the rock, so I mean, pretty much no chance that Biggs would have even hit Talonbane. You know, and one of the things that makes Talonbane so effective with the cloaking device that a lot of people are not realizing is that Talonbane gets an extra die at range 3 defending against primary weapons, and an extra attack die when attacking at range 1. And so having the illicit cloaking device, it actually helps to gives you a lot of control over your range bands, and so it's in my opinion, it's a lot easier to you know, if you see a ship that you really don't want to face off against, that you want to stay at range 3 and just kind of peck away at, it gives you the ability to do that. It also gives you the ability to get at range 1 and roll 5 dice, and with crack shot and possibly even a target lock, that's just a ton of dice, a ton of firepower. So Talonbane's really a glass cannon. So I kind of chose to go head to head against this list, but I did a 4 decloak, and then I just did a 5k behind him, which Paul was not anticipating. You'll kind of see here it didn't turn out super great for me, but was able to make it work. So meanwhile, kind of on the left-hand side of the screen, I'm just moving real slow with Dengar, just building up Gonk, or shield tokens on Gonk, and now I'm realizing that I kind of need to get Dengar into the fight here pretty soon, because if I don't, I could be in trouble. So yeah, I'm kind of barrel rolled Dengar to get him in position, so he can make a move. Because my thought is, if they turn, if Paul K turns his ships, and to come back and fight Dengar, or Talonbane, I don't want Dengar to be too far out of the fight, so I want to be able to come back and take him out. So this was a close one because Paul could have barrel rolled. He was very close to being able to barrel roll and just have a range one shot on Talonbane, and that could have killed Talonbane, if not nearly killed her. So I've got just a Binayre Pirate, or Banana Pirate as I like to call him, just up on the top left side of the screen. I think Paul was kind of dividing his, splitting up his ships a little bit, just in case, if I went just forward a couple with Talonbane, or if I had decloaked to the right, he could have potentially blocked me. But unfortunately, I K-turned. So I think that was the end of this round. There were no shots again this round, so we will see what happens next. Can tell you one thing, there's a beautiful maneuver by Dengar coming up here. So just going too forward with the Banana Pirate to clear his stress. A lot of times what I will do with that Banana Pirate is I'll just kind of use him as a blocker. Unfortunately, Z95s are not the best blockers. I've also run this list, the exact same list, with instead of a PS1Z, the Banana Pirate, I've run a Cartel Spacer, which is the M3A Interceptor. Yes, I know they are terrible, but they're actually a better blocker than a Z because they got the barrel roll and they have a better dial. Similar to that of a TIE Fighter. So I've run that, and then run I think Lone Wolf on Dengar, and then I think Adaptability on Talonbane, so that I could get the couple points for the Cartel Spacer. But what I've found is that typically how I fly this list, I usually want to have a blocker in front of Dengar, which, that didn't really work out this game. I got the Z out of the fight too far. He ended up not really being able to block for me. But usually if I go head-to-head against a really strong jousting list like this, I need that Z as a blocker, because I'll just run him in 4 straight and try to block one of my opponent's ships. And Paul's a really good player, and he's actually here in McPherson, in the McPherson Hutchinson Salina meta. He's one of the best jousting players. And he actually doesn't usually fly Rebels, he usually flies Imperials. And he's really good at jousting. He understands range bands, not necessarily that he maths everything out, but he's just really good at seeing things. And so he's kind of caught me with my pants down before. And this is actually the second time we played this matchup. And the first time it did not go well for me. So I was kind of trying to be on my A game this time, because I knew how badly, if against this list, against this archetype, the 3 rebel, like the Corran Corran West Wedge or Corran, or I'm sorry, Corran Biggs Wedge or Corran Biggs West. Those are kind of the two big archetypes right now, or they're similar archetypes. You know, if you don't kill Biggs quickly, things can just go very bad for you, especially if your opponent gets Corran at range 1. So I did block Corran here. Looks like I'm attacking with Dengar, and I got 2 hits on Corran. And I think I maybe stripped 2 shields here. 1 or 2 shields. So yeah, this rebel list is no joke, man. If you're not careful, you know, if your opponent flies well, you know, you can just, it can be very difficult. And if Biggs survives a lot longer than what he should, it's just a very tough list to deal with. And that's what happened the last time we played this matchup. I just could not kill Biggs. Biggs would just not freaking die. I had multiple shots on him, and he just kept taking it. And I think he survived like 4 rounds of combat. And you know, most people, if you've played Biggs, you know that if Biggs survives 4 rounds of combat, you're pretty much going to lose, because your heavy hitters like Corran, Wedge, you know, or whatever your heavy hitters are, it gives them more time to do what they need to do. So, yeah, unfortunately, I think for Paul, he didn't play this match super well. He kind of, I mean, I kind of forced him into a decision where he had to split up his ships, and I was able to get an early shot on Corran. But this round I think went a little bit better for him. He's swinging in Biggs. This time, you know, I can't shoot at Wedge because Biggs is range 1. We'll see what happens here. I think I might have done a 4K or a 5K with Talonbane. Yeah, it looks like a 5K. So, try to remember Paul thinking, man, that is not what I thought you were going to do. But, you know, that 5K turn on Talonbane it's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, you know, he's got a 4K and a 5K. I personally kind of wish he had like a 3K and a 5K, or even, you know, a 2K and a 5K would be awesome. But, you know, here I'm pulling in Dengar, just doing a 1 bank around the moving around the rock, and I think I bumped Corran again, or forced him to bump. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah. I think that was a situation where Paul forgot that Dengar was going to move before Corran. Don't want you guys to think that this is a good representative game of how good Paul is, because Paul is a really, really good player. I mean, when he first started playing, he was definitely didn't know what he was doing with list building, but since then, you know, he's recently won a tournament here at the Village Geek. I think it was like an 18-person tournament, and he won it outright with like a 888's Imperial build. So Paul's a very good player. Really, really happy for him with what he's done. So let's see, I got Dengar. I think I was measuring from Talonbane, not realizing that I had to shoot Biggs. Not sure. Oh no, this is Corran shooting. Corran shooting. Looks like that's range 2. I'm pretty sure we decided that it was range 2. Which unfortunately, I mean, that was unfortunate for me because, you know, Talonbane would have gotten 2 more dice. You know, that moment when you realize that Talonbane's getting shot at range 2, it's unfortunate because she just loves, you know, she loves extremes. She's a woman of extremes. She loves range 1, she loves range 3, and anything in between is just not very good for her. So, alright. Paul grabs the wrong dice. So I think this is Corran here shooting. I think that's 1 or 2 hits, and I think he strips a shield here on Talonbane, maybe not. I think maybe he rolled 1 hit and I rolled 1 evade. Let's see. I think this is Wedge shooting range 1 on Dengar, which was a little scary. And spend the focus, looks like for 2 evades, so I think I took 1 or 2 shields there on Dengar. Dengar attacking back with his ability, which ignores Biggs's ability, which is really nice. Using Predator for the reroll. And I think that was 3 hits. Yep. So I just love this Talonbane Dengar list. I mean, it's not only has it worked well for me, but it's just a fun list to play. It's fun to see people across the board like, what, Talonbane Cobra? That is, what are you doing flying her? She's terrible, but she's really not. If you know how to fly her, if you practice with her, it's honestly 33 points for a ship that can cloak and get an evade action, and decloak and get an evade action, and roll 5 dice at range 1 with crack shot. I mean, it's just phenomenally good. One of the most underrated ship builds right now, in my opinion. So I think that was R5P8, and I think Wedge took a damage on that, maybe. Had big shooting. I think he used swarm tactics to shoot with Biggs. Oh, this is Wedge shooting now. Yeah, because he reduces my agility. And I think he pretty much stripped all of Dengar's shield tokens off right there, which, you know, is good. That's what you want to do. You know, unfortunately for him, I think Dengar goes on to regen some shields. So this is Talonbane shooting range 1 on Biggs. So that's cocked, so I think I re-rolled that because it was cocked. Don't know what happened there. How many hits I got. There's at least 1 hit. Oh, I rolled 1 fewer die. I should have rolled 5, and I think, yeah, so I think I ended up with 2 hits, and I think I crack-shotted. Yeah, maybe that was Dengar shooting. Alright, so looks like I did put some damage through on Biggs. And I think what happened here was I could have crack-shotted and killed Biggs because I put enough damage through, but he used integrated Astromech because I forgot that he had that, and he got rid of the last damage on the last damage that would have killed Biggs. So unfortunately, I forgot to use my crack shot because, yeah. So that's it's always good. You always gotta remember what upgrades your opponent has and what upgrades your build has. So the Z shooting range 3 through the rock on Corran, and I don't know why we're measuring so much here, but yeah, so he gets like 5 dice, so there's very little chance I had of doing damage, but you never know. And with a blank, I mean, I had to spend the focus and got 1 hit, so he dodges it, but hey, you gotta take everything you can. I have firsthand had a Z shoot range 3 at Sunterfell and land a crit, even with auto thrusters. So it happens. So the Z moved up and, you know, potentially went for a block there. Don't remember how that actually worked out for me. He moves Biggs up just like a one bank and bumps Dengar, which is going to force my Talonbane to bump. Let's see. Yeah, so he had initiative. Wedge is also a 9, same as Dengar, but Wedge or Paul had initiative, so Wedge moves first as well. And yeah, this is one of those situations where, you know, if you have initiative against a large base ship and you get jammed up in the, you know, in a fight against a large base ship like this, I mean, you just got nowhere to go. You're not getting around that large base. So I think I did the very predictable 2 sloop. Yep. And landed right behind Wedge. Unfortunately, I believe Talonbane bumps into Biggs, which means Talonbane didn't get to shoot at Biggs, and Dengar had to finish off Biggs. So, but as you'll see here, that ends up working out okay for me. So I am curious, all you people out there watching this, what do you guys think? You know, as of right now, September 14th should be 2016 should be getting this video posted. What do you guys think the superior or the best rebel builds are? Do you think that this kind of Corran Wedge Biggs build is or this kind of archetype? Do you guys think that this is a superior top tier rebel build? I mean, rebels are just in kind of a tough spot right now. With Palpatine, with Jump Masters, with just all the crazy tricks that Scum have, and Dengaroo. There really aren't a lot of great rebel builds that match up against Dengaroo. And I've played against that build, and it is, right now it is really, really tough. I think, when Wave 9 hits here this next week, and Black Market Slicer Tools, that could hurt Dengaroo a little bit. But from what I'm seeing, right now there just are not a lot of great matchups against Dengaroo. I personally I like the Ghost, but I'm not a huge fan of any of the pilots except for maybe Kanan. But especially the Lothal Rebel, I think, just for the cost, for a large base 4 attack die primary ship, for like 35 points, I think it is. It's just a really, really good ship. So I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are. So feel free to comment on our video here. Send a message on our YouTube channel. You can go over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/villagegeekgames. We've got a blog website coming. It's going to be called minisandmeeples.com. I think that actually redirects to our website right now, which is also kind of a work in progress. So, let us know what you think. We're coming to the store here in McPherson, Kansas. Let us know what you think. Whether rebels really are in a tough spot, or you think that rebel players have just had to totally reinvent themselves. Personally, I mean, I've been kind of playing rebels since I started playing X-Wing like 2 years ago, and I think this is probably the toughest it's ever been for rebels, but I don't think that they're You know, I mean, they're pretty. I think they're pretty obviously at a distant third in the overall meta, but I don't know that they're just completely out of it like some people say they are. I think that there's still some decent ones, and I think that Paul's build here is really good. I just don't think that he flew it correctly in this game. Unfortunately, I didn't have our first matchup between these two builds recorded. He just smoked me that game. So I think the last time we played this matchup, all I was able to take out was Biggs, and I took him out fairly late game. So looks like I did take out Biggs there. I think that was with Dengar. So looks like I got the PS1Z shooting range 1 on Corran, I think, and I think I maybe did a damage there. Yeah. The crit on Corran might be Stun Pilot. Not 100% sure about that. So, this was Corran attacking using his double tap ability to attack at the end of the round on Talonbane. And I think he almost kills Talonbane here. I think he gets 3 damage through. Talonbane's got 4 hull, so 1 hull left. Good use of Corran's ability. You know, he's got the fire control system, so he was range 1 with a target lock. That's the time to use Corran's ability. So dial set, going into the next round. Just doing just about all I can with the Z. Just doing 1 bank. And if you're ever in the Kansas area, central Kansas area, we're about an hour north of Wichita on Interstate 135. You know, if you're in Wichita, it's only about an hour north. We've had people as far as Tulsa and Oklahoma City come up for our store championship. So we usually get about, I think last store championship or 2016, I think we had 40 people. So it was a pretty good store championship. We got a great X-Wing crowd up here. It's kind of collectively amongst us 4 owners. It's kind of our favorite. You know, if you're watching this and you've never played X-Wing, it's just such an easy to learn game. I mean, it's so quick to learn, and yet there's just tons and tons of strategy to it. So I think this is actually the death of Corran Horn right here. I just did a 2 bank. Not sure why I didn't do the 2 sloop, but pretty sure Corran's got the stun pilot crit on him, and I think that finishes him off. So we'll see here. So he's got, let's see if this is, yeah, this is Corran moving here. He does not clear it, and I think that does it. Now, technically, he probably could have regained the shield with R2-D2, because I think the 3 straight is green on an E-Wing, so he technically probably could have regained the shield. If I'm correct on that, I think you can use R2-D2 now before any other after executing maneuver ability or effect. Not 100% sure on that. Something I'd probably have to look up in the FAQ. But he does think that does take out Corran there. Oh, maybe not. Maybe Corran is still alive. Oh, yep, that was the Sun Pilot. So Corran's out, and then from here it's just pretty much mopping up Wedge. So not a really close game, unfortunately, but you know, it happens. Don't want you guys to think this is representative of Paul's play, because he's a really great player, especially for not having played a lot of strategy games, board games, or played some board games, but not a lot of strategy games. So this is Talonbane. I think this is Talonbane shooting range 1 on Wedge, and I think that was it. So thanks for watching, guys. We hoping to get more X-Wing videos up soon. Maybe some Magic the Gathering games from our Friday Night Magic play, or Saturday tournaments, modern tournaments, that sort of thing. Hoping to do some Imperial Assault videos. Currently, our 3 biggest games are X-Wing, not in this order, but Magic, X-Wing, and Imperial Assault. We really enjoy all 3 of those, and hope that if you're in the area, you'll come and join us. Check out our website. Check out our website for more details. Make it down for a casual play night, and hopefully we will see you all soon. All right, thanks for watching, guys.